The moment you've all been waiting for has finally arrived. The enchantress of your heart takes the stage, shining. All women on the beach should fear as Tamamo-no-Mae is here. And yet, I feel like a fresh face, a new coat of paint. And next thing I know, a mysterious beauty who steps out from the shadows to suddenly set your soul. Do not fret, my future master. There's a lion on the prowl, but this fox is quick and cunning. My posse of love hunters looking for a big game will bring your rapt attention aflutter straight to me. I can already feel it seeping through the screen. Am I a fortune teller? Or will I fill you with regret? Let your St. Quartz do the talking and the conditions will be met.
If there's anything to be said about Anne Bonny and Mary Read, it's that their third ascension art looks out of place. And it's the only one that does. To me. But for you, what should be said is that you're technically playing on Anne's turf this time, and she has all of the attack boosts packed into her fully loaded front anvils. I mean, the hand cannon. She's like the Iskandar of archers. Everything she does is an attack buff, but her star rate and hit counts blow the steam out from under her. Luckily, the greedy ventures of a pirate life have earned Anne Treasure Hunt C, which arms her with the critical stars she'll need for a single well-timed blast. Use wisely. A brave chain, an arts chain, last-minute big damage, and speaking of big damage, Anne likes it both ways. After all, it's rather suspicious of Anne to tape a 1 HP revive to a skill that greatly boosts her attack modifier for 3 turns, don't you think? While she shares the same NP's special damage modifier as Mary, which is only increased based on how low her HP is, but this time also decreases the target's defense with overcharge for 3 turns. Well, how about that?
Now that's a lot of damage!
Allow Emiya to set the trap into motion. Scapegoat is good skill. And while it's probably best that I recommend male servants applicable to the bonus of Beach Flower A+, there are actually many female servants who ride best with Anne for their healing buffs that can chain behind her noble phantasm after she's taken advantage of her daredevil scheme. Sadly, the only males I can think of who fall in line with this idea right now are Hans and... Oh no. Oh, Geronimo! There, I actually found a solid use for someone grossly mishandled by Delightworks. You're welcome.
Well, that one was quite a mouthful, Master. Were you stalling to keep an etched look in your mind's eye at that big bang body that she's got? You should instead be as swift as the sea itself. Describing how titillating the support is will only distract your eyes away from the prize. Focus on me. So let's try a different damsel then. The spunky athlete. This should be easy. A no-brainer.
Noble phantasm.
Oh ho! So fast. Perfect. And all that's left is my trusted comedy sidekick. A will of steel and fire boils inside this one, which rivals my very own. Her idea of men is just about as tasteful as Chinese takeout. But she could get the jump on a real honey before I can even get a clue. What do you have to say about that?
The spook! It's the snake that eats rodents alive. A simple kit for a one-track mind. Promoted by Madness Enhancement EX! Did you expect anything less? Her hit count functions like Skahawk's though, so watch yourself. Meta Trap! Put those buster cards last for maximum vexation. And if you treat her right, this Kiyohime's gains will be much better than the old Sensei's as well. Appropriately, you'll be moving forward towards a noble phantasm that targets a single treacherous creature and seals their skills before burning them to death. Higher tier enemies and bosses that like to inflict lots of pesky debuffs on you are probably the most suitable for such a fate. And if you face enough of these together, she might just share a secret message with you. Okay, perhaps not so secret, but look upon it and feel the horror! No! The love. It's also no secret that anything increasing her buster effectiveness should be attached to her at the hip. Recommended servants to pair her with include no one up to the task of fulfilling her desires completely and eternally. You are all she needs, Master. Go to her.
Wah! Foul! This is wrong. Don't get ahead of yourself with the sentimentality just yet. We can't possibly forget about the main heroine here. Popular fellow characters are just the icing on the cake by this ocean. Give her the main course already.
There is no one thing the Tamamo shark does well. That is because the Tamamo shark does everything well. It is a little bit despairing that she cannot make the most of Beach Flower EX simply because her star weight is the one aspect of her that is remarkable only because of how weak it is relative to everything else she's got. But perhaps that is the point given that she is a self-sufficient DPS support hybrid. Think of her as Lancer Uraile, but as a 5-star, whatever that might look like, with the best charm in the game juxtaposed an affinity for kicking men thoroughly in the balls with her NP. She even has Divinity A++++++++, and an arts buff replaced by every good standard passive skill for cards that gain NP, plus Rider Kintoki level NP gain. And of course I can't forget Goddess Metamorphosis, which is just stunning good! And probably an innuendo, not to be used lightly. Pop it either to protect or when the gains are assured. Only then will you not be disappointed in your own self. So, is she worthy of the 5-star status? Are breasts not filled with men's hopes and dreams? My recommended servants to pair her with include all of these.
Adequate exposition, don't you think? I didn't even have to write it myself. The Quartz doesn't lie most of the time, and neither do I. We're perfect for each other. So as long as you're handsome and sweet, plus do and say all the right things, of course, it'll only take a jiffy for us to be united, fallen madly head over heels in love by a romantic evening sunset occasion. That shouldn't be a problem at all, since you want me so adamantly, right? I'd expect nothing less of my master. Onward to a brilliant new sunshine adventure, I say. Together, roll, roll, roll for me, gone!
Foxy lady.